I appreciate all the fans I had. Hate me or love me. You watched. That's all you could do. Thank you.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jobbers and Goons, and today we have a crazy matchup between Kratos and Dracula. Now, obviously, Kratos being an accumulation of his appearances throughout his God of War timelines, and then on the other side, Dracula from Castlevania, including the show. Now, if these two monsters were to clash, who would win? I'm going to briefly go over both and then tell you who I think would win in a clash. Real quick, smash the like button. Let's try to get this to 200 likes. That would be amazing. In terms of my podcast, since the schedule is going to be Monday to Thursday, I decided to go ahead and we'll start this Monday. I didn't want to randomly start in the middle of the week, so I moved that. I'll still be live streaming some, but definitely stay tuned for the Jobbers and Goons / Dr. Goons show. That's going to be amazing. But yeah, this battle's pretty epic, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, Kratos is a character who has had multiple appearances throughout his several games. Now, obviously, most famous, his recent game had him going against the Norse mythology. This is the second installment of that being the case. And overall was, in many's opinion, a masterpiece. Now, how strong is he, though? Kratos is someone I believe personally, given the lore and story, you have to give him at least multiversal or 5D plus. He has fought beings that have splintered the world tree. The world tree in itself being a cosmological device that contains strands that are on an infinite level, transcending each other in their time and space, like each strand symbolizing that. This conceptual tree was accidentally shattered in a clash with someone else, with Kratos scaling both to Thor and the World Serpent. It's really easy to kind of conclude where Kratos would range at in terms of power there. In terms of speed, obviously, being able to fight beings that can cross realms in just moments, cross realms beyond time and space, cross those strands of time and space that transcend each other. For example, some of the characters throughout the Norse side of the mythology in the God of War story, like the Valkyries, can do so, and he obviously scales to them. So him being that fast should be a no-brainer at this point, giving him higher tiers of the speed meta. In terms of what weapons he brought to the table, even heading into Ragnarok, he had two weapons that essentially scale to Mjolnir and above, which can shatter concepts like the World Tree. For example, the Leviathan Axe. This is an axe that is literally stated multiple times to scale to both the Blades of Chaos and Mjolnir. By virtue, Blades of Chaos actually had high praise, especially in God of War 4, because it was outright stated like, yo, them shits might be sweeter than Mjolnir. They're kind of fucking dope. That was said by Blacksmith himself, so they might actually be a little above, but regardless, they have elemental hacks. Technically, he can attack on a conceptual level, and he has killed and defeated conceptual beings before. He can battle characters with precog. He has his own sorts of precog. He also has Spartan Rage, in which he basically enters a rage-induced Ultra Instinct and just fights off of his natural power and skill accumulated throughout his time battling gods and even being the God of War. He's literally slayed multiple gods. Kratos is about as experienced as it gets in terms of battling reality warpers, massive gods, characters with magic and other hacks. He's prepared for a lot of shit. And overall, I would say Kratos is one of the more formidable video game characters, as his mythos and stories and lore give credence to him being a super powerful character. But does Kratos have what it takes for Dracula. Let's kind of get into Dracula. Now, Dracula, obviously, one of the most iconic big bads in fictional history. No exception with his appearances in Castlevania. Dracula is a character, not just some simple vampire, but quite literally, he is a denizen of hell. He's connected directly to hell. We've seen that quite literally creatures of chaos bend to his will and serve him. Now, the reason this is important is because you got to understand what that means. These are quite literally beings pulled from the countless layers or infinite layers of hell, right? And these beings come from there, these agents of chaos, this extra dimensional realm of hell, and he can just easily pull them and make them serve him. This obviously showcasing his status within hell. On top of this, Dracula himself has withstood strikes from the Morningstar Whip. Now, the reason this is important is because Belmont's Morningstar Whip is consecrated with so much power to the point that it was blasting back and folding a creature who could literally damage and open the infinite corridor, which obviously has infinite realms or infinite timelines outside of time and space, and is disconnected from time and space, and is quite literally called extra dimensional in nature. So him like casually scaling above that and scaling above what's supposed to like conceptually kill vampires is pretty impressive. On top of this, he's highly skilled, literally going toe to toe with characters who their entire families have basically Batman-style trained their entire lives to defeat vampires. He's gone against his own son, Alucard, even kind of shitting on him at certain points. He can quite literally transmorph, dissipate on a molecular level, change his molecular structure, create clones. He can summon his castle, which is actually stupid impressive. You see, the castle is actually just a manifestation of some of the power of Dracula, which is absurd when you think of the scope of what the castle is. Not only does the castle contain him, and it's where his army comes from, his potentially infinite army that he can summon from the bowels of hell and the guts of hell itself. Dracula also has the infinite corridors housed within his own fucking castle. The infinite corridors being separate from time and space and containing infinite layers or realms. Like it has infinite realms or time spaces within them. This endless / infinite extra dimensional existence is all contained within the castle itself. And so for that castle to be able to contain essentially infinite universes, bare minimum, within itself, Dracula can be argued multiversal just off that being a manifestation of his actual power, as those chaotic agents of power completely are at the control and the whim of Dracula. Overall, his connection to his castle, his ability to manipulate chaos energy, empower his own immortality, his power in itself, his ability to regen, transmorph, and use the castle to his advantage as he literally pulls up on people with it. Dracula is one of the more, in my opinion, slept on characters to put in a versus battle because of his versatility. Now, if the king of vampires in hell was to clash with Kratos, the God Slayer, who do I think would win? So this is a pretty interesting matchup because here's one caveat to the story. Like, what if, and it's not really a what if, at least part of it's not a what if, Dracula will have his castle. It's pretty well known, if he's alive, his castle's with him. So he has his castle there, right? And he's fast as fuck, and we know he can summon it fast as fuck. I mean, it's the same Dracula in Season 4 that literally sprinted pretty much instantly the Infinite Corridor. That's crazy. So he has this, right? and he could potentially go in there, lure Kratos in there, and kind of turn it to a dangerous game of multiversal hide and seek. However, I'm not sure that's likely to be the case to occur. I feel like they would eventually get into a fight. And Dracula's not the type to really run anyway. Like, he is kind of 10 toes with his shit. So, I mean, this is the dude, his wife got murdered. He's like, yeah, I'm pulling the fuck up on the whole world. He's crazy, right? He's about it. So, they would square up. And unfortunately for Dracula, despite his power, despite his castle, the kind of arguments to try to, like, put him above Kratos kind of fall flat, because essentially the burden of proof is kind of easily met with Kratos. For example, scaling of the infinite corridor, infinite pathways, the extra dimensional structures within Dracula's castle. You can easily scale the world tree to and above that, and some of the gods he's fought and killed to and above that. So Kratos essentially kind of has arguments to negate all the other stats he needs. His versatility probably is slightly better. And overall, I would favor Kratos to take this matchup. It would not be easy. Dracula, especially with his castle, does have the means to make it tricky. But in conclusion, I would say Kratos wins. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Who do you think wins? Thank you guys so much for watching. We got a bunch of content coming soon, including an Asta Goon video. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Been your boy Jobbers and Goons. I'll see y'all later. Peace.